I mean, when you're talking about art, you have to keep in mind that it lives in so many different forms. For instance, what I've been doing for my warm-up is I'll get to the studio or the space, wherever it's happening, and if it's something I really need to be grounded for, like a performance or a complete run-through for the first time, I like to come and say some prayers, just of like clearing, protection, really trying to like make sure everything that like I came here with, like my own problems and my own issues and my own whatevers, are kind of left out the door, and all the things I'm not really aware of are left out of the door. We have this for our show that we're doing right now called Earthquakes in London, and pretty much all the miscellaneous crap that's like out is for Earthquakes in London, because we rehearse in here every day. I used to want to act because like, so it kind of became like a therapy for me. Like, I was always told I was really dramatic and that I felt too much, and so I would find plays and characters that matched to that, and I really felt like I could just be what I was told was like a flaw about me could be of service to a story. But now I'm just finding that, you know, my motto is like, as I become a better person, I become a better actor, and as I become a better actor, I become a better person. And it really has been like the path for me to find compassion and understand what empathy really means, and understand that we really aren't as separate as we think we are. It's when you break down everything, we're all going through the same like feelings and emotional states within extremely different and difficult circumstances, and that's what kind of drives me, is like I just get the opportunity to, you know, understand people more, and I love that. I think that's the whole point of everything, honestly. Na da ta la na da ta la na da ta la na da ta la na da ta la.
Or you love another person, or you love.
Okay, I'm just gonna start writing something. Like I'll start out just playing some piano notes or just putting a chord and strings, and then as I go on, just deciding what would this work best for. Is it like a battle theme? Is it for overworld? Is this gonna be calm? Is this going to change? Is this going to be short, long? So a lot of this I've had to think about it being adaptive music. I did not always know I wanted to be a musician, but from about middle school on, I started to compose, and I was already a trumpet player since I was 9. And ever since then, it just kind of became more and more, wow, I like doing this. I wonder what I'm going to do with my life. And then I went, oh, I guess I can do this with my life. So this is a standard B-flat trumpet. It's what most trumpet players start out on. Most of the modern music that you see is written for B-flat trumpet. This is a Yamaha Zeno. A lot of classical stuff is written for C trumpets, or you'll see it written in D or F. You'll use a C trumpet for that. It just plays a little bit higher than the B-flat trumpet. This particular one is a Benge.
Again, I feel like the string is kind of like a part of it, because like you're so into Barbies, and like Barbies have fake hair and just like are stringy and like disgusting. So I figured I'd do that. Okay, so step 1 is to figure out how you're feeling. If you want to draw a drawing of like an angry monster, then you can. That's what I've started with sometimes. So the drawing then goes into a small watercolor painting if it's necessary, and then stretching the canvas no matter what size you feel. I usually go big or go home. If I do small, then I'm uncomfortable with the small pieces, so it's usually big. At the end of 5th grade, we were signed up to see like what we were gonna be as adults, and sure enough, on the bottom of my photograph, my baby photograph, is an artist. So I think there was some knowledge that this was gonna happen, either one way or another. I don't know exactly how or why I did it, but here I am at SUNY Purchase, and I'm a painting and drawing major. There it is, a pair of shorts. I think there's this weird feeling that every student has, like no matter what major you are, that you really, really want to do this. Like if you want to make movies, then you're gonna want to make movies. For an artist, like we're really, really emotional, and like there is no way to cope with that unless you're making art. And I think it's helped me. There's no better way to say this, but I want to make myself happy. Like if I'm happy by the end of this year, like then I've succeeded in life.
So you know how we know Happy Birthday like super well, and that's why everyone can sing it in like opera like randomly if they feel like it, or like you can just sing it at a restaurant and people will randomly go into harmonies and you're like, this is great and spontaneous. The hardest part about being an actor is you have to know every character and every play as well as you know Happy Birthday, and then be prepared to just completely scrap it. Because if you go with the opposite of you just know the play, but you don't leave that at the door, odds are you're not really going to create an environment that includes them and will therefore include the audience. And so it's like, how do we create a world that feels like nobody is watching while fully aware of everything we need to do so that we're catering to the people that are watching?
Look, this is what I pay a lot of money to do.
That was just one of the reason I bring him up.
All of my out-of-state
That
tuition
way
went to that.
stating it was extremely
I'm a perfectionist, so there's that. I always want to create a product that I myself am happy with more than anything else, something that I feel deserves the title of art. The challenge is that there's not really, if you're freelancing at least, there's not really a set job. A lot of it is just doing whatever you can. So there's not like, I'm gonna make this much money per year, because you really don't know that unless you get like an orchestra job or something. Because of that, it's really hard to tell people what you do for a living other than I'm a musician, because a lot of the time that's literally what you are. You're not just a trumpet player, you're this combination of different things that makes up your career.
Time. It's all about time. I think we've as adults, we've had a lot put onto us emotionally and physically, and then friends and family get involved, and it's just like there isn't enough time in the day to do work or to have a social life or to sleep and to eat. And at the end of the week, like if we don't get a project done, then it kind of repeats itself, because like if you don't get a project done in 1 week, then you can't get it done in the second week. So it's all about time, and like that's the one thing that I struggle as an artist. What's my favorite part? Being satisfied with making the work at the end. If it takes a while to be satisfied, then it's fine, but the best feeling is to be satisfied with something that I make.
My favorite part about being a musician is the satisfaction that I can get from my own work. Because I do a lot of film and video game composition stuff, so I feel like I've done my part to make this a better experience for whatever audience I'm writing for. And it's a good feeling to be able to look back at your work, even years later, to be like, I did my best at this. Like, of course, there's always stuff that you can improve, but at the time, I did my best with this.
Art to me is asking questions and finding a creative way to challenge your beliefs. Art is uncomfortable, it's creative, it's larger than life. Like, I just think art really is the appropriate title and category that society gives us so that we can basically do whatever the heck we want.
Art is our deepest emotions in a physical form, if that makes any sense. It's like the things that you can't really express, so you figure out a different way to express it.
I guess it's a safe space. Like, growing up was really hard. I didn't really have many friends. People weren't nice to me. I wasn't nice to people. So kind of like art became like a friend that I needed the most. I wasn't very good at it. I'm not gonna lie. But art became like someone that I needed most in life. And like art has to be important to someone. And like I wanted it to be important to someone. Not just myself, because like that's craziness, but it has to be important.
The bottom line is that art is difficult, but at the end of the day, we keep doing it because it makes us happy. And isn't that what we all work for?